We all love chocolate, but do we all love the price?
And why has the price gone up so much?
Let's start with the cocoa bean.
The cocoa tree bears 2 harvests per year. The cocoa farmers cut down the crop and gather them together. They then extract the beans from the outer shell and spread them out to dry in a process called fermentation. They then leave the beans to ferment for roughly 5 to 6 days. When the beans reach the factory, they are then roasted and put through a winnowing machine to remove the outer husks, leaving the roasted beans, which are called nibs. The nibs are then ground into a thick liquid called chocolate liqueur, which is then pressed to extract the cocoa butter, which is made into chocolate.
Last 10 years, as you can see, the price of cocoa has increased from approximately $975 to $2,880, which is an increase of 195%. Between 2007 and 2008, the price rose due to the global financial crisis. However, as you can see, the price then dropped due to a fall in demand. Between 2009 and 2010, there was a large supply deficit. This then caused another peak in the price of cocoa. And on the 24th of January 2011, the Ivory Coast president imposed a ban on the exports of cocoa.
Cocoa is considered a normal good. This means that as a person's income increases, so will their demand for cocoa. The US has estimated that the price elasticity of demand is minus 0.2, which is very inelastic. This means that when the price of cocoa is increased by a large amount, the demand will only fall slightly. A shift in the demand curve can be caused by such things as an increase in the standards of living in developing countries.
In some cases, such as the Ivory Coast ban, supply will be reduced. This will cause an inward shift from supply 1 to supply 2. As you can see, this has increased the price from P to P1. With the Ivory Coast producing almost 40% of the world cocoa supply, its production has a big impact on cocoa prices. Recently, the Ivory Coast cocoa yields and also quality has gone down, causing fears over world cocoa shortage and prices to go up. Yield and quality has been affected by old and sick trees and caused a loss of about 10%.
When there is a supply surplus, generally the price of cocoa is reduced. However, when there is a supply deficit, there is generally an increase in the price. Over the past few years, there has been a supply deficit trend, which could explain the rapid increase in price.
Speculation can also affect the price of cocoa. This is where buyers and sellers trade cocoa within a market. Many aspects can determine whether a trader will choose to buy or sell cocoa. For example, in 2009-2010, analysts predicted a supply deficit causing the price of cocoa to rise due to traders buying the good. However, the year actually finished with a surplus. This shows the strong effect of speculation on price.
In conclusion, there are many aspects which will affect the price of cocoa. One is the Ivory Coast situation, as they are the main exporter of the good. The Ivory Coast, who used to be unwilling to changes, is implementing cocoa reforms before the end of the year to try and guarantee a minimum price to farmers. This should discourage farmers from moving to other markets and should help give some relief to the market. Forecasts predict that the year 2011-2012 should finish with production surplus. As discussed before, this will reduce the price of cocoa. However, the market is still vulnerable to speculation, so despite the production surplus, price may still remain high. Also due to the inelastic nature of the demand for cocoa, if demand were to increase or decrease slightly, there will be a more than proportionate change in price. This means that the market price is sensitive to changes in demand. However, due to high competition market, you'll be glad to know the main price increases stay with retailers and manufacturers and are only slightly passed on to consumers.